Good morning, everyone. Welcome to day 3 coverage of the Junior and Senior Grand Prix Final. Your host, Ted Barton, along with Anna Cappellini, of course, partner of Luca Lenotte. You were world champions just a few years ago, but now you're on the other side of the fence. You're a volunteer here at this championship. Tell us a little bit about your experience.
Well, it's been really crazy, really eye-opening, because really skaters go from competition to competition every week and have no idea, sometimes years of work to put an event together. But it's been so interesting, and I'm really grateful for the experience. It's extremely tiring, extremely tiring. Don't know if you can tell, but it's really rewarding too.
Well, what are you doing now in your life? I mean, other than volunteering for skating, what other aspects of your life are you involved in?
Well, Luke and I have a lot of projects together. We're still in the show business. So we really wanted to grow as performers, as artists, and really just let our fantasy run wild and become the best performers and artists that we could be. So we're just really enjoying that at the moment. And then we have projects with the federation. We try to build foundation for the future of our Italian young skaters.
Well, so you don't miss being on the ice at all? I mean, when you watch the competition, there's no yearning to...
I was never one to love the feeling of competition. I liked skating for skating. I like the dancing. I like the wind in my hair. But really, it wasn't for me so much about the competition. It was actually quite a lot of stress to deal with. But it's good school for life.
Well, your partner surely liked competition. When I asked him that yesterday, he said, yeah, I kind of missed that a little bit.
Yeah, we were good partners because he hates flying, but he loves competing. So I would hold his hand through the flight to wherever we were going, and he will really hold my hand when it was time to perform.
Really? He didn't like to fly?
He hates it. Yeah.
Oh,
sorry, Lucas, but
yeah, well, that's
the secret.
Revealed. Yeah, right.
Nervous flyer.
Yeah, absolutely. What are the teams now going through today? The free program coming up, of course, the free dance, and probably a little bit of stress. It's the Grand Prix final. I mean, it means a lot. What are the nerves like?
Well, the Grand Prix season kind of sets up the second part of the season, so the championship. So the winner here just leaves at the one that's supposed to win all the championships. So everyone wants to put, how do you say, a foot in the door?
Yes.
Like just,
yeah.
So
get ahead a little bit.
Yeah. You want to leave that memory of you, and it's such an elite competition. It's so few of you, just the best. So the level is so high. I mean, yeah, it's really stressful. That's what we were saying.
What was your greatest moment in your career?
Oh gosh, actually, the free program in Milan's 2018 World Championships. Even though we didn't medal, we had such a connection with the audience. I had never felt so that everybody was so emotional, just as we were. And we hugged forever. At some point, I realized there was other skaters waiting to come on the ice. Yeah. I was worried that someone was going to say, but no, actually, it was a perfect competition, and with the perfect audience reaction, all the emotions that you could be, and sometimes that's really better than a medal.
Well, every skater has those special people in their lives that motivate them or get them through a challenging time, or were great supporters of them throughout their career. Who are some of those people for you?
Oh, wow. Well, other than my husband, of course, he knows everything about the sport, so he can relate to any issue that I would tell him. But also my family, my sister, she was really like she's really like a mom for me, and she was another one that held my hand a lot of times. And when skating gets hard, it can be hard, but then you just get over the hill, and you can really achieve anything.
Well, you've had a wonderful career, and we thank you so much for joining us on the other side of the fence as volunteers and helping the organization. And thank you so much for such a wonderful job here in Torino. Anna Cappellini. Well, day 3 coverage here, Chris, of the Junior and Senior Grand Prix Final. You've covered skating for close to 30 years. Have you ever seen anything quite like this?
No, without a doubt, we're seeing a new era of figure skating, particularly in the ladies event. Yeah, back in the day when I started, we had Midori Ito, who came out and did the first triple axel, and that was sensational. And you began to think, well, is this the start of something? But nothing really happened. For a while, we didn't see the ladies attempting anything like that. And the guys came out, the top boys were doing a triple axel here and there. Some would miss it, some would land it. And then Kurt Browning came out and did the first quad toe. So that was sort of the evolution. But now, over the last 18 months, 2 years, it's gone bananas.
Well, how did we get this? How did we get to this level? I mean, now we have 13, 14, 15-year-old young ladies and men doing quads just beautifully. How did we get, so quickly in such difficulty?
I think, to be honest with you, the technique has changed so much. There's been a radical change in the methodology, if you like, of jumping technique, and I think that has made the difference. The technique that these youngsters have is phenomenal.
Well, that brings me to another question. There's been, a lot of comments about, is this good for these young ladies to be doing these quads? And is it okay for the men as well? And we saw you, Zero, trying to quad axle the other day, and all that. Is this a problem? What are your thoughts on that?
Well, my thoughts are, when you're looking at the really good skaters, these 3 young Russians here are phenomenal. The technique they have is impeccable. So if you're doing the quads and you've got the technique right, I think the strains and stresses on the body are not that bad.
Yeah.
The problem comes when you don't have the good technique and you're thinking, crikey, I've got to do these quads to be able to compete with these guys, and you're going and you're attempting them with a bad technique. That's when I think you may see some problems.
Yeah, that's true. And I've seen quads on the Junior Grand Prix for the past 3 seasons by these young ladies. And I thought to myself, their technique is so perfect, their weight-strength ratio is perfect, and I don't see them fall very often. And if they do, they have a normal fall, not a really difficult fall. So I thought, this is going to be okay. That's at least my thought.
Yeah, no, I'm with you 100% on that. It's the ones that don't have that technique that I feel for.
Yeah, but where does it go from here? Now, I mean, does it just get more and more?
Well, we're seeing, and you touched on Han Yu doing the quad axel. I mean, he's pushing the envelope now. Are we going to see 5 turns? Looking at the technique these guys have got, why not?
Well, I asked the great Brian Orser many, many years ago, did he feel 5 would be able to be would be possible? And he said, absolutely. Someone, somewhere, at some point, will do 5 revolutions. Probably not in my lifetime, but I hope so. But it's going to be possible.
Well, I tell you what, did you ever think that you're going to see junior girls coming out doing quads in your lifetime?
No.
Because I didn't.
No.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah, it's just really remarkable.
Yeah.
Now, Chris, let's talk a little bit about today's events.
Yes. Well, it's going to be so exciting. Ladies event, we expected a 1, 2, 3, Russia 1, 2, 3, but we've got one, but not in the order we expected. I think the story there, Zagitova, she came out, we know she's got problems, she's the Olympic champion, she's won the Worlds, she's won the Grand Prix final, she's done everything and struggled to get the motivation to train to come here, but she came out and skated a blinder, and she's in 2nd place.
Yeah, and let's a little bit further to that. Look, she's Olympic champion, she's world champion, she has nothing more to prove. She's skating with young ladies who are doing quads all around her, and how did she come out here and motivate herself and fight for her career and for her coaches? What a great job Alina did. There's no question, outstanding work by that whole team to keep all their skaters at all their different levels going and inspired.
It is remarkable, and just looking ahead to the ladies' event, keep your eye on Trusova, who's down in 5th place behind Brady Tennell, who skated really, really well.
Oh, Brady was great yesterday, for sure.
Trusova, she's planning to do 5 quads in the free. That would be remarkable.
Yeah, that's going to be something to watch for sure, and she can move up a long ways with that if she produces them.
Absolutely.
Hey, now the men, what a battle that'll be.
Oh, my goodness.
Even though there's a 10-point difference.
Yeah, hey, you can do that in one jump pass, can't you now? It's going to be fantastic. Looking at the practices, I've got to say, I think Nathan Chen seems to be the calmer, the smoother out on the practice sessions. His confidence seems to be good. His head is in a good place. He's got a good lead, as you say. So he would be my favorite, but you can't rule Han Yu out.
No, he's an inspired competitor,
Yeah.
and he's proud of his career and proud of what he can do. So we'll see what unfolds here today. And
the crowd are going to be right behind him. And a little story, I was on the bus yesterday, sat there minding my own business, and Hanyu walked onto the bus, and out of nowhere, hordes of fans swarmed the bus. There was nobody around. I don't know where they came from. It was unbelievable. But that is how famous this guy is.
Yeah, well, he's done a lot for the sport, but we have a great future in this sport with the young skaters coming up out of juniors, great seniors we've got. It's very exciting, and the sport is growing globally. A lot to do with some streaming that we're doing as well. That's helping the world see the sport.
Oh, absolutely. I think the streaming is a great idea. It gives nations that don't have TV coverage the chance to follow the sport and meet the new stars, and there's some real superstars on the way up here, I tell you.
Well, we thank all our viewers around the world for following us here in Torino. Chris, has been great working with you. We're going to have a terrific day in both the junior and senior Grand Prix final. So make sure that you join us on the ISU.org. Join us on YouTube.